What is going on, everybody? It is Giant Sync back here with another team preview. It's been a little while. We took a little break. We did the AFC and NFC East so far, and we started with the AFC North. But before we get into this video, I'm going to tell you guys, you got to like the video, sub to the channel, check out the other videos we got. We got team previews for each team. I go over their records, who they'll win, who they'll lose, who they got in free agency, who they should draft, the whole 9 yards. So definitely check it out. So let's get into it. What's on tap for today? Cincinnati Bengals. So I actually like a little bit of what the Cincinnati Bengals did in this offseason. They didn't do a crazy lot. They didn't go crazy like many expected them to. A lot of people expected them to go after offensive guard Joe Thuney, which they did not. A bit surprising. They have some solid pieces on their offensive line, and after last season, a lot of Bengals fans and a lot of experts are clamoring for offensive line help. They basically got Joe Burrow killed on the field. They destroyed his knee in his first NFL season as he was playing good football too. So, yeah, definitely the Bengals need offensive line help. They retained Trey Hopkins. It looks like Jonah Williams is staying. His career really hasn't come to the point that we thought it was going to. Coming out of college, he was one of the top offensive tackles. We'll get into who they signed, but who they released. They released Bobby Hart, which is a good thing. I mean, Bobby Hart is terrible, a bad football player. I'm not really sure where they go in this draft. If they don't go offensive tackle, it's a huge mistake. I think like Rashawn Slater, Penei Sewell have their name have a Bengal logo like waiting to like be placed on their head. Like they have a hat ready for them. It's going to be one of the two tackles. It will be one of the tackles, and it should be. And if it's not, it's a big mistake. As much as Jamar Chase seems like a good idea, probably isn't the best idea. So let's talk about free agency. First of all, they got Trey Hendrickson from the New Orleans Saints. They signed into a big deal this offseason, I believe 4-year deal, around $80 million. I'm not the biggest fan of this move. I mean, he was really good last year. Don't get me wrong. He had 12.5 sacks. But he kind of just, he had 1 year of that. And usually in free agency, you're paying A+ money for B+ players, and this is the exact part. You're paying A+ money for a B+ player. So let's get into the next one. Larry Ogunjobi. This one was actually a nice signing. They took him away from the division rival Browns, and I believe he was on the. I believe he is somebody who the Browns did like. I just see he wasn't really a fit for them or the money wise. But Larry Ogunjobi is a good football player. He is a very balanced player when it comes to stopping the run, stopping the pass. Larry Ogunjobi is a defensive leader. He's a defensive leader. I think he's a really good ball player. And I think, they got actually a nice you get a nice contract. I think it's kind of hard to evaluate this signing as anything more than a depth signing though. If you look at Larry Ogunjobi, he played for Cleveland really just the last couple years, and not a big sack guy. Doesn't have a lot of tackles. But I will say, Larry Ogunjobi is a solid football player. He is a solid player. Riley Reiff, this is one of my favorite signings they did. Riley Reiff was a surprise cut from the Vikings. He's a decent left tackle. He's not good. He's not great. He's decent. He's serviceable. He'll be there, and he'll be solid for you. There's a reason he was a team captain. There's a reason he was cut, and it wasn't because of his bad play. It was because of salary with the shrunken salary cap this year. I personally like this signing the best. This is the best signing I think they did. I think Riley Reiff was really important because you need to protect Joe Burrow. If you get one of those tackles, then you're looking like Jonah Williams maybe could slide to guard. You have Sewell, Reiff, or Reiff slides to tackle, whatever, or guard, whatever you want to do. You look like you have 3 solid offensive linemen with Trey Hopkins at center, who I do like Trey Hopkins. I do. Mike Hilton is their next signing. They took him away from the Pittsburgh Steelers. I really like this signing more as a subtraction thing from the Steelers rather than an addition thing to the Bengals. But combined with another one of their free agent pickups, this was a nice signing. And that other free agent pickup is Chidobe Awuzie. He is a very fast corner, but he's very raw. He has very raw talent. He hasn't been great the last few years. He hasn't been bad. He just hasn't lived up to the potential that the Cowboys wanted him to. So let's get into the Bengals schedule. So mind you, the Bengals have a game against, I believe, the 49ers as their 17th game this year. So you can imagine that I'm going to give that a loss because the NFC North plays the AFC North plays the NFC West. As you saw, the Steelers play the Seahawks, so on and so forth. It'll go by standings. The Bengals are on last, so they probably play the 49ers, if I'm not mistaken. So here we go. I have a loss against the Ravens. I don't think they're going to beat the Ravens. I really don't. I have them going 1-1 with the Browns. It seems like Burrow and Mayfield had a nice shootout, and the Bengals kind of they don't have the Browns number yet, but they have. I'll give them the home win. They won last year. I think they're going to do it again. A loss against Green Bay. They're not ready to compete with Green Bay. I don't think they'll be ready for a while. Same with Kansas City. I don't see them competing with Kansas City. I don't know how anybody, not many teams in this league can compete with Kansas City, but I definitely don't think the Bengals are one of them. I'll give them a win against Chargers. It's not that I don't believe in Herbert. I actually love Herbert. I think he's great. I'm not really sure what's going on up there. I don't know how they feel about their coaching staff and the whole nine, so they're kind of in a wait-and-see mode. I want to see what they do in the draft. They take an offensive tackle, or they take Micah Parsons. They take a wide receiver. We'll see. If Jamar Chase or one of these guys fall into their lap, then they may be flying up the board. I'll give them a win against Minnesota. I think Minnesota's defense is still poor. Patrick Peterson doesn't make them a good defense. We'll get into Minnesota's defense in a few videos. I'm not a huge fan of Minnesota's defense. And their offense, Kirk Cousins, continues to be mediocre, and they'll never take that next step unless he stops being mediocre. As you saw in my Pittsburgh video, I have them losing to the Steelers twice. I have them getting swept by the Steelers. The Steelers have the Bengals number, and I don't think the Bengals are ready to, fight with them for the division. Jacksonville's going to be bad again. I know Lawrence is going to be good, but they will not be. It's not going to work out. However, Joe Burrow versus Trevor Lawrence in their first years, it would be a really cool matchup to watch, and I think a lot of fans are going to love to see that. Another loss against the Ravens. Lamar Jackson and company are excellent. I think a lot of people are underrating Lamar Jackson because he's a running quarterback. Lamar Jackson also threw 36 touchdowns his MVP year. That's a lot of touchdowns. So Lamar is a great quarterback in this league, and I think he will continue to dominate the Bengals. A win against Chicago. Chicago looks awful. I don't know what they were thinking this offseason. We'll get into that. Chicago's video might not be very friendly. Same with Philadelphia. Philadelphia's wasn't a very friendly video. I have them going 1-1 with the Browns here. I think Baker Mayfield and company will take one, and I think Burrow and company will take one each. So 1-1 there. I don't like Drew Lock and the Broncos. We all know, if you've watched my videos, you know I don't like Drew Lock. I don't think he's good. I think he's holding the Broncos back, along with Pat Shurmur. Two just bad pieces who don't fit, clearly. I have a win against the Lions. The Lions, they don't usually win things. I don't really think I need to explain. A loss against the Raiders. As much as I didn't like what the Raiders did this offseason, I still think they're in a better situation right now than the Bengals. The Raiders' pass rush seems to have gotten a little better with the signing of Yannick Ngakoue, but we'll see how good it actually is. Like I said, they're getting swept by the Steelers, and I actually have them losing to the Jets. If you saw my Jets video, that is my Bengals prediction on the season. And like I said, I have them losing that 17th game against the 49ers to a grand total of 7-10. Now, it seems like I kind of slaughtered them a little bit, but there's a couple swing games in here. I really don't think they're going to win a game against Baltimore, or I don't think they're gonna. I think they could lose both games against the Browns. However, I could see them taking a game from the Steelers. I was very clear in my Steelers video how I feel about them. I don't think they're good. I think they did a lot to be weary about them this year. I think they did a lot for us to be like, wow, they're not exciting. I mean, the only thing they literally did is sign Juju, and that was a mistake. So the Bengals had a solid offseason. Hopefully they get, Rashawn Slater or Penei Sewell in the building, and all will work out from there. But that is it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like the vid, sub to the channel for more NFL previews. Next, we're going to be doing, we're going to finish out the AFC North and then go to the NFC North. So expect the Browns video, expect the Browns video, expect the Ravens video soon. And so that's where we'll leave it off. Thank you guys and have a good one.